Hey everyone, it's Mark. I'm not going to waste any time on introducing this video because I asked a ton of my friends to send me their predictions for the Masters tournament, and a lot of them got back to me with their picks, so let's just hear what they have to say. Of course, the links to all their channels will be down in the description, subscribe to all of them, blah blah blah, you guys get the point. Alright, PD, you're up first.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the time is almost here. This is PdGaming, and the Masters 8 bracket has finally been revealed. Here are my thoughts on some of them. The first round matchup that I'm looking forward to the most out of this list is probably actually Iris versus Cynthia. Now, while the battle itself is going to have a pretty conclusive victory, I don't think anyone here thinks Iris is going to win, I do want this to show off how strong Iris is, push Cynthia to the brink. Iris is the newest champion here, and she really needs to show off what she can do. She's already lost to Ash once, so it's not a good look that the 2 times we see her as champion, she's going to lose both times. And while there's no shame in losing to Cynthia, I do think Iris pushing her to the brink will make her look much better. With Ash's first round being Steven, I find it interesting. They did set this up a little bit in the Serena return episode when Ash faced off against Wallace, who claimed that he was as strong as Steven, and there we saw that Ash beat Steven, so I expect similar things to happen here. I don't think Ash has lost to any Metagross at any point in a league. Think about it. In Hoenn he faced a Metagross, he beat it. In XY he faced a Metagross, he beat it. And now he's facing Steven, and again, like we saw in the preview, it looks like Pikachu is going to be facing off against Metagross, and I wonder if that trend stays. It'll be interesting to watch. I guess the one thing I'm wondering about this matchup is, well, we know that Steven is going to use his Mega Stone. What is Ash going to use? I'm going to assume probably his Z Crystal, because Pikachu is probably going to be the final one remaining against Metagross. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And with that, the semifinals matchup is going to be Ash versus Cynthia, and I actually think Diantha is going to beat Lance. Lance was one of the early contestants, and we saw him in episode 13 make it to second place, losing to Leon. But I think the writers don't want to have Lance face off against Leon again, since we've already seen that. So instead, Diantha is going to beat Lance. So in the second round, we're going to see Diantha versus Leon. Regardless, Ash's semifinals match is going to be against Cynthia, and this is kind of a culmination of all of Cynthia's appearances since the 4th generation. We saw that Ash trained with Paul to face off against Garchomp, and his Dragonite lost, so I'm wondering if Dragonite's going to be the one to show off here, because he already lost 1 to 1 Garchomp. I'm interested to see what happens. And then the inevitable final match, Ash versus Leon, it's probably going to be a 6v6 while the other matches are 3v3s, and Ash will probably end up using his Mega Stone. I originally really wanted Ash to use his Z-Ring, but the intro has made it pretty clear that Mega Lucario is going to face off against G-Max Charizard. So unless they're just baiting out the entire fan base by having that be the intro, I think it's pretty clear what we'll see. I think by the end, Ash is going to win out because the story in the games has always been that Leon never lost, so him losing the first time is a big deal. Here, I think it's going to be similar. I wonder where that takes Ash, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
It's Crasher Times! Okay, so for my predictions as to how the Masters 8 will go, I think the quarterfinals matches will be 2 versus 2, semifinals will be 3 versus 3, and the finals will be 6 versus 6. Now, let's talk about who will win. For Leon versus Alon, this one is a no-brainer. I know Leon will win, but we should be in for a great fight either way. It also features the battle of the starter Pokemon with Charizard and Rillaboom versus Charizard and Chestnut. For Lance versus Diantha, this one could go either way, but I'm gonna give this one to Diantha because it would honestly provide us with a fresh Leon versus Diantha match in the semifinals, as Leon versus Lance already happened prior. Diantha also has an advantage over Lance with her Aurorus and Mega Gardevoir, as they have type advantages over Lance's Pokemon. Next is Cynthia versus Iris. This is a match I personally look forward to, as Cynthia and Iris do have history together. Cynthia will be pushed to her limits and break out the Mega Evolution for Garchomp, and it will come down to a draconic clash of wills, but Cynthia will win. Steven versus Ash is a match I personally always wanted to see. I've always liked Steven. This match will be fun and interesting, and I think it'll come down to a clash of Pikachu versus Mega Metagross, with Pikachu taking the win and moving on. It's semifinals times! Leon versus Diantha will prove to be interesting, as we have a fresh matchup, and had it not been for plot armor for Leon, I could have seen this go either way. Since semifinals will be 3 versus 3 in this case, I can see Leon using his Charizard, Seismitoad, and Aegislash, and Diantha using Gardevoir, Tyrantrum, and perhaps Goodra. Both will go back and forth with the clash ending with Leon winning after his G-Max Charizard defeats Diantha's Mega Gardevoir in a close one. Ash vs Cynthia is the dream match many have wanted to see. I can see Ash using Pikachu, Lucario, and Dragonite versus Cynthia and her Garchomp, Roserade, and Gastrodon. This one will be tight, as I can see it coming down to Dragonite versus Mega Garchomp, and Dragonite beating it by a hair after an epic clash of Dragonite's charging Draco Meteor attack versus Mega Garchomp's Draco Meteor attack. Ash wins and moves on. Now we get to the full course meal we all have wanted and expected. A full 6 vs 6 battle with Ash versus Leon. Ash will use his entire Journeys team of Pikachu, Dragonite, Gengar, Lucario, Surfetch, and Dracovish versus Leon's Charizard, Rillaboom, Mr. Rime, Seismitoad, Dragapult, and Aegislash. Leon's team members are just my prediction, by the way. This one will be a clash for the ages. I can see it coming down to Ash's Mega Lucario versus Leon's G-Max Charizard, and they both unleash the fullest powered attack ever to end all attacks. G-Max Wildfire versus the most powerful G-Max Aura Sphere from Mega Lucario. The clash will end in one of 3 ways. Leon barely winning, Ash barely winning, or a draw. This one is hard to say because if Ash does win and becomes World Champion, what would be left for Ash to do? We do have Generation 9 on the way, so perhaps a new challenge could await Ash there? Either way, this battle is going to slam.
The way that the first stage bracket has been set up, I think that the riders have a pretty clear path that they want this tournament to go down. I think that the riders will take the following path to make Ash fight Leon in the World Coronation Series final. Lance will beat Diantha, Cynthia will beat Iris, Leon will beat Alon, which does really suck, and Ash will beat Steven. It seems highly likely that Ash will face his 3 opponents in this tournament utilizing all 3 of his known gimmicks. Therefore, in this battle, I think Ash will beat Steven using a Gigantamax Pokemon, Gigantamax Gengar. It will come down to a shiny Mega Metagross against a Gigantamax Gengar, and after an intense battle, Gengar will emerge victorious. I think after those fights are over, the new bracket will become Lance vs Leon and Cynthia vs Ash. While we will see an amazing set of battles here, I think that Leon will make it out with the victory against Lance, and Ash will overcome Cynthia with the help of Mega Evolution. I believe that while Pikachu is Ash's most loyal partner, even Ash knows that putting up an electric Pokemon against a Mega Ground Dragon that has never been shown losing in the anime is a huge risk. Therefore, I think we will see Lucario being the champion of this battle with some help from Dragonite. This leaves us with Ash versus Leon. I think this match will be an all-out drag-out, but at the end of the battle, Ash will claim victory over Leon using the help of the 10 million volt Thunderbolt Z-move. While Z-moves are not a fan favorite gimmick, it is the iconic move of Ash's partner Pokemon and is the move that helped him win the last time he was crowned champion. This move clearly demonstrates the bond between Ash and Pikachu, and when it comes down to it, I think Pikachu will be the final Pokemon standing between his best friend and Leon. Now, I did want to throw in a little bit of a shake-up at the end here and state that when the tournament ends and Ash is crowned Monarch, I think we will see an unofficial battle between Alon and Ash where Ash can redeem himself for his hardest loss in the series.
Whoa. Sorry, I gotta jump in after that one. I think there's absolutely no chance of that happening. But hey, I gotta appreciate the passion that some people have for wanting to see an Ash versus Alon rematch. Anyways, lots of fun predictions so far, and I'm sure Alex will keep the trend going.
Hey guys, it's Aleximo, and wait a minute, I think I already made a predictions video over on my channel. Yeah, screw Mark, just watch me instead.
Well, that's the last time I ever do a collab with Aleximo. Alright, Gooey, what do you got?
Hello, I'm Gooey448, and yeah, we all know the Masters 8 tournament is right around the corner. And of course, Mark called me up because he needed the most accurate prediction he can get. Well, good thing I'm here. The first battle is Alon versus Leon, and yeah, no, Alon's definitely winning. Ugh, bro, he's not winning. Stop saying he's gonna win, he's not. Second battle is Lance versus Diantha. Now a lot of people are gonna go Diantha since we already saw Lance fight Leon earlier in the series, but that's not how it's gonna go down because a lot more people know Lance than Diantha, and Pokemon loves making rematches in the anime. Another thing is, if Ash almost beat Diantha back in Kalos with a non-fully mastered Ash Greninja, no way is Diantha gonna win against Lance. That alone tells me Lance is gonna have a rematch against Leon, then win and face Ash in the finals with his Gyarados. Third battle is cool. We have Cynthia versus Iris, and RIP Iris. She's gonna get swept by her Garchomp just like I did. Steven versus Ash. Yeah, sorry. Steven, the plot's gonna get the best of you. Moving up to the second round and the first battle of Leon versus Lance. And Lance, he's gonna lose. I mean, what did you expect? Okay, so the last battle, Ash versus Leon. Well, I'm holding strongly to my belief I have had ever since it was announced Ash was going to face Leon. And that is, he will 100% lose. But why is he gonna lose? Well, think about it. What the heck is he gonna do if he does? I mean, this man has literally done everything. This guy has fought in every single gym, every league, seen like every Pokemon, visited different dimensions, has died and came back to life like 20 times. He's met God, even owns one too, and pretty much anything you can think of, he's already done. Winning would almost make him less of an interesting character. I mean, he's a very interesting character, just we have experienced everything there is about him. It would be cool, but I'd rather him not become the #1 trainer. I know it's not the actual #1 trainer, there's still Tobias out there chilling, but come on, Ash is good, not that good.
Hey everyone, it's Star. The Masters 8 brackets, at the very least, I would say are interesting. I bet no one expected nor wanted these matchups, but they're still fun to talk about. So, first up is Leon vs Alon. I'm definitely one of those people who will always defend the rationality of this match, since I believe that it is more fitting and also a step up for Alon's character to want to battle the strongest in the world, rather than just Ash again. It will be cool watching G-Max Rillaboom and Chestnut, who by the way is in Chespy, since they're two grass starters who haven't really gotten that much of a spotlight in the anime. And I can't wait for Alon's Charizard to get a taste of his own medicine by losing to another Charizard, and base form at that. Yes, let's not even think that Alon has any chance of surviving this battle. The second battle is gonna be between Lance and Diantha. It's undoubtedly the most exciting and nerve-wracking for me. Not only because I'm the biggest Lance stan in the world, but also because it's the only battle where the winner is totally up in the air. On one hand, Diantha can win because it wouldn't really look good for both the Kalos representatives to lose in the first round. And the rematch between Lance and Leon isn't exactly what many viewers want to see. On the other hand, Lance's voice actor has been talking about Lance wanting to take revenge on Leon, so I definitely see him getting another chance against a world monarch. I'm currently leaning more towards Lance winning the battle because of its narrative significance. Plus, we can hopefully see another Charizard vs Charizard battle, this time with Lance's Mega Charizard Y. Third, we have Cynthia vs Iris. This is the only battle where the characters have a rich enough history together. I know many of us are proud seeing how Iris and Haxorus have come a long way since they first battled Cynthia. Considering Iris will be pushing Cynthia to resort to Mega Evolution, I believe that this is gonna be a closer fight than we imagined. I would say I'm 99% confident that Cynthia's got this in the bag, because if they planned for Iris to win, then they never would have made her battle Ash in the Super Class. But who knows, this might be the ultimate upset that we get in the tournament, and I will be super stoked if it happened. And last and probably the least is Steven vs Ash. Seriously though, among the trainers in the Master Class, Steven is the person whom Ash is connected with the least. Their battle wouldn't hold a deep meaning for either character. Like, I get that they wanted Ash to battle the top 3 strongest in the world, but they could have easily put Lance or Diantha in 3rd place and have Ash battle either of them instead. But I don't want to be too negative about this because I like Steven, and I'm still optimistic about the battle. Tankier Rock and Steel types aren't very common in the PWSC, so it's a breath of fresh air to see Ash handle these kinds of Pokemon. So yeah, after the quarterfinals, I believe Ash beats Cynthia and Leon beats Lance. And they'll proceed with a 6v6 battle in the finals. I'm also hoping for Lance and Cynthia to battle for 3rd place, but I don't think we're getting that. All in all, the matches might not be the most exciting, but if the writers can give us a series of amazing battles, then that's more than enough to make many of us feel satisfied with the Masters tournament. Right, Mark?
Yeah, sure, whatever you say, Star. Okay, only a few more predictions to go. Trey, it's your turn.
Yo, what's up everyone? Treyman1 here. Here are my predictions for the Masters 8 tournament. As we know, Ash is fighting Steven Stone in the first round. We see Pikachu and Gengar, and Credilli and Metagross for Steven. I believe the last 2 Pokemon will be Surfetch and maybe an Aggron. I would love to see Surfetch get a victory. I don't want it to be like Pikachu and Gengar get all the, spotlight in the wins and Surfetch gets like the dirt. I want Surfetch to do good in this Masters 8 tournament. So let him get a win maybe against Aggron. As for the other 2, I can see Ash using G G-Max Gengar in this fight because, you know, it's 3 battles, so he's probably going to use 1 gimmick per each fight. So I see this one being the one that he uses G-Max for. Regular Gengar beat regular Metagross, so if he has to fight a Mega Metagross, let him go ahead and G-Max for a nice conclusion. I can see Pikachu doing pretty good in this fight and also getting a victory as well. Then there's Iris and Cynthia. Now, we know that Cynthia so far is using Mega Garchomp and Milotic, but I could also see her using Glaceon. We've seen Glaceon back in Black and White, and Iris and Cynthia is such a nice matchup because they have history from Black and White where they battled, and Cynthia was like, oh, you know, you got a lot of growing to do. So far, we only see that Iris is using Haxorus, which Haxorus may be putting in that work. If that's the case, I would love to see her use her Dragonite as well, because Dragonite needs redemption after what happened against that Dracofish. And for her last Pokemon, maybe Excadrill. You know, I feel like Excadrill would be nice to see in Pokemon Journeys. It would be nice to see in this fight as well. Just to, you know, kind of switch things up. It would be good for Glaceon, and it would be for a nice match. Obviously, in the end, I think that Cynthia will win, but if Iris is to win, I could see her saving her Garchomp for the next fight if she has evolved her Gible. Because remember, I feel like Ash needs to finish off a Garchomp with Dragonite. But for this prediction, we're going to say that Cynthia wins this fight. So Cynthia versus Ash. Cynthia has to use Mega Garchomp. I could see her possibly using Como. And for her last Pokemon, I don't know. We know her full team is 6, so they could either surprise us with something new or just pick one of her other Pokemon. But I see Ash using Dracovish, Lucario, and Dragonite. Obviously, Dragonite has to get the MVP win for this fight. It has to beat Mega Garchomp. Now, I do see him using Mega Lucario, but not for the finisher. Kind of like how in the Rayhan fight where G-Max Gengar was in the middle. I can see them doing that here with Mega Lucario doing some work. And in the end, Dragonite gets that MVP win. I would love that so much. As for the other side of the bracket, we know the first fight is Leon and Alon. Obviously, Alon is going to lose that fight, but I do see him putting in some work. I do see him actually defeating all of Leon's Pokemon before the Charizard, which the Charizard will be the one to, you know, take him out. And in this fight, it seems he'll be using G-Max Rillaboom. The next battle in this bracket, I feel like no one really knows the outcome of is Diantha versus Lance. Now, I'm rooting for Diantha, but I can't wait to see what Lance does. We know all 3 of his Pokemon he's using right now, but Diantha, we only know 2. I can see them having a great fight, even with Lance using Dynamax and Mega Gardevoir, but I see Diantha coming out on top and fighting Leon. But this will be an interesting fight. I want to see Leon use Mega Charizard Y against Diantha's Mega Gardevoir to switch things up and save that G-Max Charizard for Ash. And the last fight, obviously, being Ash and Leon. I can see this being a full 6v6 fight with Ash using all his gimmicks. I can see Leon being like, you know, show me your full power and I'll show you mine. I see Leon using his G-Max Charizard, Dragapult, Rillaboom, Toxapex, Aegislash, and this is a surprise one, but I see him having the Ice-type form of Calyrex. We haven't seen Calyrex yet, and Calyrex is a king for a king, being Leon. This would push Ash to his limit. You know, yes, we've seen a lot of the promotion has been G-Max Charizard versus Mega Lucario, but I can see Pikachu pulling out that Pikachu MZ to take down Calyrex, and, you know, G-Max Gengar doing some nice damage as well. In the end, though, I don't know who's going to win. I'm rooting for Ash, but I wouldn't be opposed to a tie, and I really wouldn't want him to lose. So let's see how this tournament will play out.
What is going on, everybody? TASOfficial here, and today I will be joining Elite Trainer Mark in today's video as we give off our predictions as to who will win the PWC tournament. Our predictions as to who will bite the dust for the first round and who will actually be the surprise upsets throughout this entire tournament. So let's get started. So our first matchup between Leon and Alon, it's pretty obvious at this point that Leon is going to beat Alon, which is unfortunate as a lot of fans, including myself, wanted to see Alon face off against Ash. But for now, I think it's safe to say that Leon will defeat Alon. There's just no way that Leon gets first rounded, even though we know that Alon himself is a formidable opponent, Kalos League victor. It is what it is. Our next matchup between Leon and Diantha, I'm pretty sure that it's safe to say that Lance is going to lose against Diantha, since Leon and Lance have battled previously and Leon was the victor, so I don't see why they would have us watch another battle between the two unless they want to give us redemption for Lance, but at this point we all know that Leon's going to make it for the finals, so we will give this one to Diantha, which is pretty cool because we're actually going to have another Kalos rep move forward. Our next battle is Cynthia versus Iris, which is a lot of people's, including myself's, favorite battle to look forward to. Honestly, this is going to be a tough one, but I think Cynthia is going to take this one overall just because Iris did battle Ash previously and we already knew how that turned out to be. But seeing how Cynthia actually mentored Iris a bit back in the Unova region, I think it's pretty safe to say that Cynthia will be proud of Iris's progress, but in her own right, she does need to battle Ash to settle that long rivalry they've been having since the Sinnoh region. So I'm going to give this one to Cynthia, but I'm sure this battle is going to show us what true peak for Iris is. So I can't wait to see this battle. And our last battle for the first round is going to be between Steven and Ash. Honestly, I don't see Ash getting first rounded, but Steven Stone. It's actually going to be awesome to see Ash defeat a champion. So can't wait to see this one. Our next matchup, if we go by my prediction, is actually going to be Leon versus Diantha. I'm going to give this one to Leon. Our next matchup is going to be Cynthia versus Ash if we're going by my predictions. And honestly, if this happens, which most likely it will, it's going to be one hell of a battle. I mean, these two have had so much history way back in the Sinnoh region, and there's just no reason why these two shouldn't battle. I mean, we've seen literal foreshadowings of both of them battling with Ash and Cynthia in the Sinnoh region with him and his Infernape. This battle is definitely going to be brutal, but there can only be one victor. So if we're going by off my predictions, I see Ash defeating Cynthia. It's not going to be an easy feat at all. And our last matchup, which is probably what is going to happen, is Leon versus Ash. Honestly, Journeys could throw us an entire curveball by having Ash lose or actually have this battle tied. But in my predictions, I think Ash is going to take the W, seeing how everyone's coming back in this series, how all his Pokemon are, his companions, you know, he's on a win streak. I just don't see how he's going to lose this. This is Ash's final series, in my opinion. Everything is going to hinge on what he does in terms of using his tactics, his Pokemon, and what kind of trump card he has that maybe the viewers ourselves don't even know about. But I'm going to say that Ash is going to win this, which ultimately grants him the champion title. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I can't wait to see how this battle turns out. Hopefully I'm wrong in a lot of my predictions, but we shall see.
Excellent stuff all around, you guys. I gotta give a huge shout out to all the people that sent in their predictions to me to make this collab happen. I know these predictions may have gotten a little repetitive, but hey, I was not expecting the anime to reveal the literal bracket for this entire competition. They kinda screwed up my plans on that one. Anyways, you'll probably want to hear my predictions for the Masters tournament, and don't worry, I'll tell you, just not in this video. That's right, I'm gonna shamelessly wait until after the new episode airs, and then I will go super in depth on every matchup after that, since we'll know a little bit more about the tournament. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that one. Be sure to hit the like button on your way down to the description, where you can find links to all of my friends' channels. I mean, I probably shouldn't even be plugging Alex's channel after the stunt he pulled in this collab, but hey, I'm just a nice guy, I guess. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.